Whenever you listen to a podcast, you need to be sure that the podcast you choose is suitable for the audience at home. To help you, there are certificates given to podcasts to let you know what the podcast is like. You Know It has been certified as 18. An 18-rated podcast will certainly have an adult theme and may well contain sex or violence, which could be quite graphic. It may also contain some very explicit language, which will frequently mean sexual swear words. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the podcast.
Hello and welcome back to You Know It, the 90s podcast where we go through the years,
the 90s,
the 1990s, month by month.
And this month is
February of 1990. I'm here. I'm Durs.
I'm Nick.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know. Last month we did January, which was, post Christmas. Everything was going. We had all the new toys, everything released. We're now in February. UK and Argentina have managed to restore diplomatic relations after 8 years.
Yeah.
Diplomatic ties were broken off in response to Argentina's invasion of the Falkland Islands in 1982. There was a bomb explosion in Leicester City in February. And probably the biggest news, I think, for the UK coming out of this is the storms that we had in February. 14 people killed as storms hit Britain. One of the worst storms. I think it's the big one that your parents always talk about. Oh, the storms of 1990.
Is that the Michael Fish one?
I don't know.
Or was that earlier than that? I heard there's going to be a storm, but don't worry, there's not going to be a storm.
Oh, really?
There was a storm.
There certainly was a storm. I think in is it Toyne in North Wales, 2,000 people were evacuated from their homes due to a massive amount of waves. It smashed a 200-yard hole in the seawall and caused a huge flood. So, but anyway, welcome to February.
I also have some news. Some massive things happened.
Yeah.
We'll go with this, yeah? 10th of February, FW de Klerk, the leader of the South African Parliament, announced he was going to let Nelson Mandela out. Yeah,
indeed. Well, we can move straight on to TV, because that I have covered in TV. Because, of course, that was broadcast live on TV as he was set free.
It was indeed. I remember watching it.
Do you?
Yeah, I remember waiting ages and ages to watch it. And it's like, it was like late coming out.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It was never going to be on time, was it?
Yeah, I remember watching it was like a dusty road, and you're had the camera pan down on the dusty road.
Right.
Waiting for Nelson Mandela to appear.
And then he did.
I don't know, I was been I was 12. To be honest, I didn't really know who Nelson Mandela was.
Yeah, I guess at that age, you don't necessarily think about it.
Yeah. But when I was digging around in the news before we jumped straight into TV, I do have some other news.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so he was obviously released on the 11th. Then also around the 11th as well, there was a massive meeting between NATO and the Warsaw Pact, the Russians.
Yeah.
The other guys, we can't call them the bad guys.
The
bad guys in Rocky 4.
The bad guys in Rocky 4.
And they made some agreements with obviously because USSR was breaking up on land and airspace.
Yeah.
And that's when they decided Germany could be merged into one.
Yes.
Which I think is fake news, because we know that
only one
person merged Germany, and I know you know who that is.
I do. Well, are we allowed to mention the name of that person, or should we wait until that news hits?
Let's wait. We'll wait. But you keep listening. There's one person who causes it to happen.
There is one person. The clue is that he was featured quite heavily in January of 1990 with the premiere of a certain show.
And it wasn't Jimmy Savile.
No, it was not Jimmy Savile.
Also, some other things happening on. That's makes sense. So back in February the 11th, do you remember Mike Tyson?
I do remember Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson got knocked out.
He did.
James Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
the 10th round, thought he was going to win in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
He even booked his ticket back to come back early before the end of the fight.
Yeah.
Lost. And which led into one of my other news stories in the wrestling.
Yeah. Well, let's talk wrestling. I mean, that is under the TV bracket because, of course, as you say, in the wrestling on TV, it was Hulk Hogan versus the Macho King Randy Savage with special enforcer Mike Tyson. Or was it?
No, it was James Buster Douglas after he knocked out Mike Tyson.
Yeah, so originally, I believe the plan was it was going to be Tyson.
Yeah.
And they changed their mind because he lost.
Yeah,
they were so sure he was going to win. They
I've
were
seen
just
the
like
posters for it when it was originally Tyson. I remember it.
Right,
Yeah.
and they were just like, "Oh no, actually, you lost. So go away until the late '90s, please."
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? Like, this could be the big thing, like Tyson and Hogan in the ring at the same time.
Do you think it shows that Tyson's a pretty shrewd businessman, that he put his ego aside and came back to them in the late '90s? Although I guess he is a big wrestling fan, right? So
yeah, but I suppose he obviously was going to sit next to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
it's the greatest human living being at the time.
he's
like
taking his prayers.
Hulk Hogan might knock me out.
Yeah,
I'll lose to Buster Douglas.
Saying his prayers and taking his vitamins.
Yeah, I was also having a look at that card because it's like a main event.
Yeah,
I'll run some names off.
Go for it. Some
good names. So Earthquake beat Ronnie Garvin. We remember Earthquake, don't we?
Oh, of course. Well, he will feature in a minute as well.
Oh, I got some Earthquake. We both got the same Earthquake news.
I think we do.
And then Dusty Rhodes with Sapphire beat Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect was amazing.
Well, so was Dusty. Yeah, I mean, Dusty obviously from WCW, but I think despite everything they tried to do to Dusty in WWF, he did well.
There is a really good documentary on YouTube about it. You should have to find it.
Oh, okay.
We'll put it in the notes.
Yeah, put it in the notes.
You also got $1 Million Man, Jake the Snake, which I think that should never happen because Jake the Snake is Jake the Snake.
I agree.
The Colossus Connection, which were Andre the Giant and Haku, who's the hardest man on the planet.
Yeah, legitimately.
Before, beat Demolition.
That's fair.
Yeah. Bad News Brown, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Beat Tito Santana before El Matador.
Wow.
The model Rick Martel beat Brutus, the Beefcake. It's brilliant names here.
It's all. I mean, I'm kind of biased because it's that generation, you know.
Then we got Roddy Piper beat Rick Rude.
Nice.
Then we go to the Hogan Savage match.
Yeah.
Which ended, if I can remember, I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure that Buster Douglas punches Macho Man.
Yes, he does, which clearly was a Tyson spot, which they would then later do. Shawn Michaels. Yeah. And the Ultimate Warrior beat Dino Bravo. He did, but what happened during that match? I also think this might be one of I think this one had an infamous Ultimate Warrior promo beforehand where he was talking about life insurance and stuff.
Is that the plain one or is that a different one?
I don't think it's the plain one. I think it's the I don't need any life insurance one. But yeah, one of those classic Ultimate Warrior promos that only he could understand. Yeah. During the match, Earthquake interferes and Hogan comes in with the save.
Yeah.
But Warrior is unappreciative.
He is. He's not happy.
He's not liking it.
And this is obviously pre-internet days because 10 days before this, they did a mega taping.
Yeah.
Which they taped like months worth of TV. And they had Hogan beat Bravo. Mm-hmm. Earthquake came in the ring wearing his brown outfit. Have you ever seen Earthquake's brown outfit?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
It really put me off.
It's not a solid look.
It's not. Then he attacked Hogan, only to be saved by the Ultimate Warrior. Hogan's like pushing off, get off me, get off me. And so Warrior, for some reason, runs and bounces off the ropes about 4 times, nearly runs into Hulk Hogan, and then they do their stare off.
Oh,
both do their little muscly arms bits. And they taped it the next day because they messed it up.
Well, the thing is, back then they could get away with it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if they tape that far in advance, it would all be spoiled online and everyone would know everything and not bother watching.
So they taped the Hogan thing twice.
Yeah.
They did the Warrior thing twice as well because it was also done on the same taping as well as the main event.
Crazy.
Yeah, like you're right. The internet would give it all away these days.
Yep. It absolutely would.
That is my wrestling news.
That's the wrestling news, but continuing on with the TV stuff, the BBC filmed a school gay-themed television film called Two of Us, which debuted in February. I think it was filmed a couple of years before, but is debuting on TV here. And basically it kind of went up against Thatcher's attempt to ban the gay sex education in schools. It was a Section 28 legislation, which I think obviously got repealed. But it was going up against that, and I think it forced them, because originally they wanted to put it on during the day, but they were forced to put it on late at night because of, Thatcher's Britain. Good times. So yeah, they decided to show it late at night. We also had the first of Sky's pay-per-view channels available in the UK.
Sky Movies.
Sky Movies debuted in February of 1990. As you said, we had live coverage of Nelson Mandela's release late. How long did you wait in the end?
I don't know, but I was probably impatient at the time. But
being younger, you don't want to watch that, do you?
I think I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
it's like one of these like TV moments that you probably have to watch.
Yeah,
I think there's about 3 or 4 that I've seen, and just say, "Oh, I saw that on TV."
Diana.
Yeah, Diana.
Diana was one. We'll get to that when we get to it. But
I got a story about that. I'll have to remember it in like 7 years.
In 7 years' time, when we get there. Well, US TV coming to the UK. Last month we had Baywatch. We are doing well here, right? It's the start of the year. Start of the 90s. Month 1, we got Baywatch. Month 2, Quantum Leap.
Oh, I love Quantum Leap.
Memories of Quantum Leap?
Do you want me to pick out episodes?
Or just, episodes, favourite moments,
all of it.
All of it. It is a classic, and I think very underrated show. People go on, people talk about Star Trek all the time. People talk about Knight Rider, but not so much Quantum Leap. And it is a classic. It is an absolute classic.
I just think everything about it. Like, do you ever see the episode as well when the only way he could pass on, or not pass on, leap, is if he let the person he was playing die. Mm-hmm. The prison one.
They did some really. The thing is, I think everyone always remembers it as the Goofy show where Scott Bakula occasionally wore a dress and had to pretend to be a woman and all that kind of stuff. Oh boy! But there were some really serious episodes in that show, and they dealt with a lot of issues because obviously he was going through key moments in history, and quite often it was quite political. It was quite the social commentary was really spot on with that show. It was a really good show.
Banging theme tune as well.
Oh, well, that is a must for me with 80s, 90s TV, or 70s, 80s, 90s TV. It has to have a banging theme, and Quantum Leap.
It's Quantum Leap above Baywatch. So I'm going to have to start writing these down.
What, theme tune wise?
Yeah, theme tune wise. Quantum Leap or Baywatch?
I'm going to say Quantum Leap.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, Baywatch is definitely the more kind of, I guess, more all-out 90s theme, but I don't know, I'm more of a science fiction guy anyway, so Quantum Leap, I think, for me. In the UK, for a UK show, we got our debut of the Crystal Maze.
Really?
Yeah, Crystal Maze debuted on Channel 4. Richard O'Brien, the best presenter of the Crystal Maze. Obviously, we've had, 2 or 3.
Is it Ed Tudor-Paul? He was rubbish, wasn't
he? He tried his best, but, it was perfect with Richard O'Brien. I've got really fond memories of the Crystal Maze. Funny enough, I was talking to my mum the other day about this, and we were saying about how, people... started off because I was talking about Nightmare, and I was saying how many kids, but how many kids went on Nightmare that just couldn't spell, and it's why did you even come on this show? You're just going to get humiliated, right? And it was the same with the Crystal Maze. The amount of people that went on the Crystal Maze that were just terrible at doing anything, and you're like, why did you come on this show? You're just going to look like an asshole.
It was always really complicated things as well.
Yeah,
and they were just getting stuff shouted at them. Do this for a small gap, and then they'd have to get the crystal, then walk across a real thin piece of wood falling into the water. Yeah,
there was some balance involved and all of that. I just liked the solid theming with the Crystal Maze. They'd have Aztec theme and
industrial zone.
Yeah, it was like Sonic.
It was
Sonic themes, Sonic levels.
Oh wow, yeah, that was some good...
And they're collecting gems like Sonic. That's weird.
But unlike Sonic,
they don't turn.
Who eventually wins? No one ever really won on the game, did they?
Well, Richard O'Brien.
Yeah.
Dr. Eggman, bald head, he wins every time in the Crystal Maze. He's the one winner, and the audience win. We as viewers win in the Crystal Maze, watching stupid people fail.
Do you know, I used to like it. Sometimes there'd be someone be doing a really tough one, and they'd pan out to Richard O'Brien, and he gets little harmonica and just start doing a little harmonica. And you'd be thinking, aren't we supposed to be watching the people doing this? No, Richard O'Brien is far more entertaining.
We're just watching Richard O'Brien have fun.
Just watch Richard O'Brien in a little picture-in-picture. And just watch what they're doing in a small picture.
I agree. He should be the big picture, and they should be in the corner. Yeah, I agree.
They should show him again and have commentary with Richard O'Brien. He's still alive, isn't he?
I think he's still around. Yeah, I think he just gave up because he got fed up with it.
Yeah, but he could do I can't remember that show in America when they used to watch movies and they talk over them.
Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, but with Crystal Maze.
That would be amazing.
And Richard O'Brien and
Traeger.
Traeger.
They can watch it together. From Nightmare.
Talking over the top of them.
Yeah, for no reason. I love it.
I'd watch that. I'd subscribe to that.
I'll tell you something else that you watched. Because you excitedly told me this yesterday. What was going on in EastEnders?
Right, I've got a soap update for all the soaps.
Go on.
Do you want me to do all the soaps now?
Do all the soaps, but I know the one you really want to talk about. So
EastEnders, yeah? We'll start with EastEnders. Not much exciting happening this month. Except for Ethel had to identify her body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And on the 20th of February, I checked the date, a Porsche comes screaming onto the square, parks up in a place. You see a guy talking on a mobile phone, but it's one of those phones it's attached to the inside of a car.
Oh yeah, that's when you know it. You know that's a serious gangster.
And this is what dated it for me. It's like, who's this guy? And it's in the dark. Then the next thing you know, 2 days later, there's another car. Not as good.
Not as good.
No, sorry. Don't quite appear. Sorry, Phil appears again. And he's walking through the market and someone's like, you can't park your car there, mate. All right, I'll move it. That's my Phil Mitchell voice.
That's good. That's good Phil Mitchell voice.
Grant turns up in an escort, nearly runs over Ethel and Dot, but guess what? It says, sorry, ladies, and decides to go up and talk to Frank Butcher and tease him about buying a car. He goes, I don't want it. I'll buy your car instead. And they have a little thing together. And he goes, oh, thanks, I'm walking away. And the next thing you know, Mitchell Brothers walking the Vic.
Classic moment.
Yeah, they're having a little pint of something that looks disgusting, like when you used to get beers poured on TV shows. That was really nasty. Oh,
especially in an English pub in the early 90s on TV, it always looked like the most. It looked like it just had fag ends in it, and it
wasn't very good. But then the little Phil, big Phil starts having a little dance with Ethel while Grant sings some sort of Cockney song.
Brilliant.
But Dot doesn't like it.
Phil
likes it.
Phil was drunk from the beginning.
He was.
He pulls up in his car, opens the door, bottles fall out.
Yeah.
So it's like he was an alcoholic from day one.
Yeah.
Is he still in it?
I think so, yeah.
He's still drunk though.
Yeah.
Like he's still gonna have his alcoholism.
I think he was on the crack, but he
upgraded? Yeah.
Phil is still I don't really watch EastEnders, but I just thinking, ooh, what? I remember when that happened in EastEnders years ago, and I'll YouTube it. And
I YouTubed that. I got stuck in. I did loads of Emmerdale once because I did that. I wanted to watch the plane crash, and then and then it gets stuck in your feed. I did London's Burning once as well. I did all of London's Burning. Wow. That was all on YouTube at one point. I did the lot. Yeah.
Oh, there is one thing. The Mitchell brothers both try and chat up Sharon.
Of course.
Who they both go on to have a little thing with.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the end of EastEnders. Nothing much happened there. There's only one soap when stuff happens. Actually, it's not.
They take it in turns.
Yeah. So Coronation Street this month, yeah.
Yeah.
Liz, remember Liz?
I remember Liz.
Big ginger hair, big bouffant. Love she was with Jim, the Irishman from the army. Very Irish,
Yeah.
And she wanted him to leave the army.
She could say stereotypical.
Yeah, she was like, "You got to leave the army, or I'm going to leave you." And he's like, "I want to go for a job in the army, but it's like an office job." So that's a plot for the entire month.
Right.
But then he says, "Oh, my friend Johnny Johnston."
That's not a real name.
Is not, is it? So he invites Johnny Johnston to. So Johnny Johnston's going to stay for a bit, and Liz is like, "No, I don't want him here."
Right.
Find out Liz had a fling with Johnny Johnston.
Oh my god.
And Johnny Johnston is also going for the same job that Jim's going for.
Imagine your last name was Johnston and you had a kid and you were going to call him Johnny.
Yeah, well,
he's going to get bullied in school.
He would get bullied.
It's a bad idea.
Rita buys the cabin. Remember the Rita?
What's the cabin?
That's her news agents.
Oh, okay.
They call it the cabin. There's loads of new houses built on Coronation Street.
Oh well, it's expanding.
It's expanding. All the new neighbours are moving in. All the young people.
It's a boom period for
Alf Roberts, who owns the shop, gets annoyed at the character who's just named on Wikipedia as Mr. Patel. He's also going to open his own shop. There was a rumour spread by Jack Duckworth.
Oh, he's just shit stirring.
He's shit stirring, so he nearly loses his job for shit stirring.
Oh my god!
So that's how it goes in Coronation Street. Obviously, Neighbours. We love Neighbours.
We do.
After last month of Mrs. Mangle getting married, she's now leaving Neighbours. So
she
leaves Neighbours at the start of February.
Oh my god!
So Joe Mangle, her son, moves into the house.
Right.
Takes over with Bouncer. So he now has Bouncer.
Bouncer will become very important to this show
around September time.
In a few months.
So Bouncer
I love that you know what month that happens. That makes me so happy that you know what month that happens.
That's the first thing I researched when we decided to do the podcast.
Brilliant. Is that why you did this podcast?
It
Just
is.
to get to that month?
That's one of the things we always talk about.
It is. We do.
Everyone should know about that. Todd, who was in it, Todd runs away after having a bit of a rough time, gets in with a rough lad, Skinner. That's all we got is Skinner.
You know that's a tough guy.
Yeah, the only other Skinners I know is one from The Simpsons.
Of course.
Or the wrestler, Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Which is really
He would have made a really good wrestler.
He would have, yeah. Tobacco. That's the only two Skinners I know. But Skinner's like a bit of a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Talks Todd into a bit of crime.
Oh, a little bit of crime.
So they break into a factory. Todd's mate sees this happening, and whereas Todd is missing, follows him into the factory, police turn up, his mate gets nicked.
Oh my god.
Skinner and Todd get away. Then a couple of episodes later, on the 26th of February, for like a bit of a boring episode of Neighbours, where like Skinner gets arrested, nothing else happens. It's actually the highest viewed episode of Neighbours, combining the two episodes, like daytime and evening, for like 21 million, 0.16 million people watched both like combined episodes. The most watched program Neighbours in 1990, the most watched program in the UK in 1990, and most watched Neighbours episode of all time. It's a boring episode.
I would have assumed it would have been Kylie.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been the wedding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is, isn't
so
it?
like literally nothing happens and for no reason. It must have been though, because we were quite
School
limited.
holidays, no, February. No, you school
February.
holidays.
It's probably just that there was fuck all on.
Yeah.
It's like that week that day, nothing was on.
I'm going to watch Neighbours twice.
I'm
Just for the point.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch it.
That was Neighbours.
Wow.
Didn't really check Emmerdale because I think there was a lot of farming going on. It would have been farm stuff.
It would have been, it's to be honest,
is it lambing season?
Emmerdale is only really interesting when planes fall on it.
Yeah.
Or helicopters explode. Do you know, I was looking, this is why I fell down this rabbit hole. There's a lot of really horrific accidents that happen occasionally in Emmerdale, but when they happened, they're horrendous.
Yeah.
So that's something to look out for.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's probably just farming. It's February, it's miserable, wet, raining, sheep.
Yeah, someone's like serving a hot pot or something. So yeah, I'm going to leave Emmerdale for a couple of months. But that was my soap update of the month. Do you got any more TV?
No, that was the last of my TV.
Yeah.
We can, however, move on to movies because we got some good films.
Yeah. If I go with these two first of all,
go for it.
Because these two I found on Wikipedia, so we're not sure. These may be American releases, but
it's difficult for us to find sometimes to pin down which were the UK, which were the US with some of this stuff. But yeah, go for it.
So we've got Hard to Kill. You remember Hard to Kill?
Of course, I remember Hard to Kill.
Steven Seagal. This is the plot. Steven Seagal he's a tough cop, yeah, but he witnesses like some corrupt cops killing someone. So they decide to take out on Steven Seagal and his family. They kill his wife. They like do some stuff to his son, but his son's still alive, and they decide, we'll take out Seagal as well and say, it was murder suicide.
Hang on a minute. Hard to Kill. No, it's all right. I'm thinking of which is the really racist one? There's one he did when he goes up against like Voodoo Gang or something. It's not great. So Hard Kill's the one when they put him in the coma, right?
Yeah. So they decide, he comes out, because he's like, he's well enough to go in a coma, but they hide it. His mate, his sergeant mate, and the police well, we're going to pretend he's dead because they're going to go after him. So 7 years later, Seagal comes out of a coma, able to talk.
Yeah, he's fine. He just doesn't he wheel himself out and then he does the acupuncture and he's fine.
Yeah.
That's what he does, right?
So he talks to a nurse who rings the police, so she helps him escape when the rest of the hospital's getting shot up.
Yeah.
So she takes him to her mate. And so Seagal goes to the friend's house, uses his knowledge of acupuncture, moxibustion, whatever that is, and other meditational techniques to recover his strength while training. So where he's got no muscle strength, all of a sudden he's like a top fighter again.
Top fighter.
I've got a question for you though. The name of his character in that film. I've got 3 options for you.
Oh, go on. I'll try and remember.
All right then. So option A is Mason Storm. Right?
Okay.
Option B is Barrett Stein. And option C is Roderick Manhattan.
I'm going with Mason Storm.
Yep. I made the other 2 up with random names.
Mason Storm actually rang a bell. I was like, I think that is actually a Seagal name.
It's such a Seagal name, isn't it?
It's such a Seagal name. You're absolutely right.
I think I overdid it with Roderick Manhattan. It was too much.
Roderick Manhattan was never an option.
I think that's the name of some sort of software for a PC, like virus software. For some reason, is in my head. I don't know why.
Okay, fair enough.
And so every film, I've not seen it, but you've probably seen it. So can you remember Clive Barker's Nightbreed?
Yeah, Nightbreed that's not a bad movie. It's not.
It got torn apart though.
I have a soft spot when it comes to horror, like NAF horror, and I'm like, I quite like it. You know, it's my it's kind of my Achilles heel when it, you know, I'm far less critical when it comes to old NAF horror movies than I am with most other things. Speaking of NAF movies though, Lock Up, starring Sylvester Stallone, debuted in the UK in February. This is the prison one where he plays, you know, good inmate Frank Lone. He's been a good man.
Isn't this real?
Well, I mean, he's been a bad.
There's a real life brother called Frank Stallone.
Frank Stallone, but this is Frank Lone. It's
right.
a totally different person. Or Leon. Leon? Maybe it's Leon. He's Italian, right?
Yeah.
Leon. So, you know, he's been a bad boy, but now he's been a good boy. And he's done nothing wrong, but he crossed this old warden. He's a vindictive warden.
Yeah,
and
they're always vindictive.
They're always vindictive in those prisons. So he gets transferred at the last minute from his minimum security prison to a maximum security prison to finish out his sentence under this vindictive warden. I think he's played by Donald Sutherland. And
does he end up having a scrap at some point?
Oh, of course, it's Stallone, isn't it? Stallone doesn't like this movie.
Yeah.
No, he said they didn't take it serious enough, and I agree. It's kind of like, you know, I think he thought, well, you know, I could have actually had something really interesting here and actually acted, you know, in a serious, gritty prison movie.
Yeah.
Which he still failed to do, because then he made Escape Plan himself. That was all him, and it's like
Stallone.
That's Stallone and Arnold.
Yeah.
When he can break into any prison, so they put him in a prison to break out, but then they put him in there for real, and it's a super prison. Yeah.
He breaks out anyway.
It's on a boat.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
What's the Christopher Lambert? What's the Christopher Lambert prison one?
Oh God. I'll tell you, I'm going to casually look on Google, pretending I know.
I can't think what it's called now.
There's two of them.
There is two, because the second one is in space, which is my favorite prison thing ever.
Yeah, like how the only two good.
I like
films in space which are not sci-fi, or the Hellraiser in space.
Hellraiser in space. That's what it's called. Hellraiser in space.
Hellraiser. Fortress
and Fortress 2. Fortress 2 is they're in space, which is a pretty good place to put a prison. You're not escaping that one.
Okay, do you know what Fortress 2 is actually called?
No.
Fortress 2.
Is it called Hellraiser in space?
No. Fortress 2 Re-entry.
Brilliant.
He goes back into prison. Re-entry from space to Earth.
But the thing is, when you say re-entry, all I can think about is Roger Moore as Bond.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, good old Bond.
Good old Bond.
I can't wait to get some 80s, 90s Bond films.
Oh yeah, we'll get some soon, don't you worry. Well, actually I say soon, 96? Before we get...
Is that long between...
Yeah, because Dalton was 80s, right?
Yeah, 87, isn't it?
So, it's not until 95, 96. But don't worry, we've got plenty of films until
I've
then.
got a quick film to follow that up with.
Go on.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, do you know, this stars Burt Russell as a German Shepherd.
Or Burt Reynolds.
Burt Russell. Who's Burt Russell?
Jack Russell.
He's a Jack Russell. Now, this film, I don't think I've ever seen.
No, but I want to see it after read. I've heard
it sounds really... I think the reason I never watched it is because I was like, I don't want to watch dogs die.
Yeah, but it's a cartoon.
Sounds like the worst... Different. Yeah, I know, but it's the worst cartoon idea ever.
Yeah, so like, Bert plays Charlie, a dog who gets killed when he's investigating.
Let's see, that's as far as I would have got with that synopsis and been like, I'm not watching it.
Then Charlie, who's now an angel, escapes heaven, becomes friends with a girl. They become best friends because she can speak to dogs, and they solve the crime.
Yeah.
That's about it, really. I thought, well, it was nice, isn't it?
It's nice. It's got Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Or Burt Russell, whoever that is. He might be in it. Who knows?
Like a tribute act.
Burt Russell. Yeah.
So it'd be like Smokey and...
You know when you can hire impersonators?
Yeah.
That'd be Burt Russell would be an impersonator.
You'd be like, managed to get Burt Russell. And I want Burt Reynolds.
Well,
Burt Russell to do.
Yeah, it's like when your grandma buys you a film. It's like, I got you that film with Burt Russell.
We got some ice chocks at home. Not Burt Reynolds though, are they?
Smoking and the Thief. I got you that DVD with Burt Russell.
Good on Betamax for you.
Yeah. Still Magnolias.
Yep.
Came out in February. A hell of a cast, including Julia Roberts, Dolly Parton, Sally Field. A group of women share in this small town southern community, and it's all about how they cope with the death of one of their own in the community. Close. It's very, it's very America, small town America kind of vibe. Everyone's friends. In the UK, we're not friends with our neighbours.
No.
We just don't go on, really.
No.
As you can tell from all of our soaps, they all hate each other. It's very realistic in that way.
But in the Neighbours theme tune, they all loved each other.
That, my friend, is Australia.
Oh, yeah.
That's different. That's different altogether. Over here, they would not be good friends.
And like you said, there's be hating you every day, having an affair.
Yeah, exactly.
Married 10 times.
Look at Brookside. That's just one close.
Oh, I needed subtitles for Brookside. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on in that one there.
How about some violence?
Ooh, go on. I'm going to say a film. I wonder if it's the same film.
Go on.
Is it best of the best?
It is best of the best, starring Eric Roberts.
I read the plotline. So, Eric Roberts is an automobile welder.
Mm-hmm.
He gets called up to attend the USA Olympic kickboxing trials, but he's a welder, so he's not an athlete.
They just really need someone to beat Korea at this taekwondo tournament.
Yeah, and his mum doesn't want him to do it because he's got a bad shoulder.
Yeah,
and that's why if I keep reading this, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to be able to write any more notes for that.
Well, the thing is, they've got fighters from all over the country, and they all kind of hate each other, and they have to kind of work together to defeat Korea in this taekwondo. I don't know why it's so important that they win this taekwondo tournament, but apparently it's the most important thing in the world. They're just grabbing welders off the street and being like, "Come on, buddy, your country needs you.
You're a bin man. You can do judo."
Yeah, well, hey, you say that, but how many professions have we seen in wrestling in the 90s?
Oh yeah, there was a bin.
I mean, there was literally a bin man.
There's a plumber.
Yeah, Repo Man.
Oh yeah, no one really liked Repo Man because he was like,
no,
helping the rich.
He was a bad boy.
Yeah, he was. He probably had a little dodgy moustache. Well.
IRS.
Yeah, no one liked IRS.
There you go. But he had even less to, at least a welder is a physical job.
Yeah. I don't know. William Regal was a man's man.
There you go.
Yeah, he drove a forklift.
Yeah.
I've got there's a couple of more films I know about as well.
There's a big one.
There's a big one. I'm gonna leave the big one to last.
Okay.
We've both got it.
Yeah.
The next one I've got is Family Business.
Okay, I don't have that one.
Do you not have this one?
No.
Basically, the plot is there's three generations. You got the granddad, played by Sean Connery.
Right.
You got his son, which I'm gonna have to come back to in a minute. So, played by Dustin Hoffman.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just Sean Connery, Dustin Hoffman, father and son. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matthew Broderick is the grandkid. Who was like, so you got a career criminal, Connery. Hoffman didn't get in the family business, leads a normal life, and they got their son, his son Broderick. It's a good boy, but no, he's not.
Oh no!
He gets involved in a crime, and he has to get his granddad to help him with the crime. So his granddad's like, career criminal, I'll help you, but we need to get your dad to help us, Hoffman, who's straight lace. So they team up to do the crime. Yeah,
of course.
But so I said those names to you. So you got Connery, Hoffman.
Yeah.
Do they sound that they could be father and son?
No.
Do you know what the age difference is?
Well, this is the Indiana Jones problem.
7 years.
Yeah, but Connery, he looks too young as well.
Yeah.
Connery's, dear oh dear.
It's also
Hoffman. See, at least Ford looked younger than Connery, right? Hoffman by the 90s.
Yeah,
he doesn't look that much younger than Connery.
Oh, but Connery's got a grey beard. And
if you had a grey beard, that's all that matters. Glasses. Sure, they put glasses on him. It'll be fine.
He's doing his look from Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
which also
Jones Senior.
Video this month as well. Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
And Lethal Weapon 2 and Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan.
What? so two amazing films in one of the worst Friday the 13th movies.
I wanted to leave a rubbish film before we hit the big film of the month.
Of course, which I'm assuming you have, Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, because I was trying to make up another film, but yeah, I've got Driving Miss Daisy.
You could make up a film.
I couldn't think of one that quick.
I wonder if you could insert a bullshit film into this podcast and whether anyone would ever notice if we just talked about it earnestly enough as if it was a real thing. But no, Driving Miss Daisy, starring Morgan Freeman, Jessica Tandy and Dan Aykroyd. It's about an old Jewish woman and her African-American chauffeur in the American South. And they have a relationship that grows and improves over the years. It's a very good film.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it today. And, do you know, I feel like, much like Alice Cooper, Morgan Freeman just turned up looking as old as he does now.
Yeah.
But he's never aged since that point. I think he was born old.
That's the first film I can remember him in.
And he looks the same, right?
Yeah.
He looks the same then as he does now.
And
Same as Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, I think, was born old and just looked that old
he looked
forever.
the same in Batman as well.
Yeah.
He didn't age.
That's what I mean. He
Yeah.
just like looks the same age.
It's like, what, 25 years later?
Yeah.
No. Actually, I don't know.
It's probably longer than that, I would
15,
imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
What Batman's he with? Oh,
He's Dark Knight and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Batman Begins is like 2007, 8?
Jesus.
No, earlier than that. 2005, 6,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, he's just always looked. I think he just always had like an old face, but he's never gone beyond that. So he still looks the same age now. But yeah, Driving Miss Daisy, amazing film. So those were the new releases.
Yeah. No.
And in the box office, hangovers from last month, we've got Black Rain at number 1.
Yeah.
Parenthood number 2.
Yeah.
Lock Up comes in at number 3. Stallone Star Power.
How?
I don't know. Well, it's Stallone, isn't it? Stallone, he's coming off of Rocky and coming off of, a bunch of good stuff. Probably First Blood Part 2. It's before he did 3, I think. Turner and Hooch
Good
and
film.
Casualties of War.
That's Sean Penn?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's about when Sean Penn's in it. Just
War.
quickly jumping back to Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
I'll always use, like, if anytime I'm ever driving anyone, when I drop someone else off, like, say 2 people, and one person stays in the back of the car, I'm like, look, I'm not driving Miss Daisy, get in the front. Because I don't like people in behind me. Like,
You don't like people in the back?
No, when I'm driving. It's like, sit next to me, I'm not driving Miss Daisy. And it's always been in my head that referring to that as driving Miss Daisy. Or someone's driving really slow in front of me, like, driving Miss Daisy.
Right, okay.
I'll always know. And that's like, it's a real massive cultural film.
Yeah.
I've just turned it into, like, anger.
Don't sit in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit in the back of my car. Sit in the front, I'm giving you a lift. It's not a taxi.
You can talk to me.
I'm
Yeah.
not driving Miss Daisy. I don't know why I thought I'd bring that up.
No, that's a legitimate point. Would you like at this time to talk about some music?
Go on, Em. So should we do the singles charts?
Let's do it.
Carrying on from last month.
She ain't going anywhere.
She does it right in the month. She gets picked.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor.
Hell of a song.
Hell of a
song.
Such a voice.
Oh yeah.
Written by Prince, as we discussed before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it came in the charts really late, but eventually pushed forward and moved up.
Mm.
And it's still like, I was thinking the other day, I'd probably still play a Danger Zone at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, it's you got to time it right. People have to be, that point.
We're 33 years later, and that's still a classic song.
It will always be a classic, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing Compares to You. Sinead O'Connor. Classic.
And I don't think she ever matched that.
No, I agree.
I know she burnt the Bible live on TV,
Yeah, I mean that's
but she never touched that song. I don't think that's affected her. Like, she can never release any music as good as that.
Hmm.
Written by, obviously, I say it again, written by Prince, so it's going to be amazing because he is involved. But like, she probably realised she's hit her peak of her career there.
Yeah.
But she was knocked off number 1 though by Beats International. That'd Be Good to Me. Do you know that song?
Right at the end of the month,
Yeah,
right?
the one goes do 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 do.
How does it go?
Do 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 do. That one. I
Okay.
remember it.
Yeah.
I've got it, but I didn't buy it. I think I've got it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like looking through it of the new releases that month. You still got your standard ones still hanging around. There's loads of Jason Donovan in the chart. He's hanging around. Kylie is still hanging.
Do you know, I couldn't believe though, Kylie did not last very long in the top 10.
No.
She did not last long at this point. I thought that, I mean, I know it's a cover and stuff, but
Yeah.
Tears on My Pillow, I thought that would be around for a lot longer, but it's less than a month.
No, it drops out. It's not.
Because she come in right at the end of January,
Yeah.
and by mid-February, she's gone out of the top 10.
She is literally gone.
Yeah.
Like, she's not very strong. And so also, these are some banging new releases, yeah? I'll roll these off, and you can tell me which is the odd one out, right? Because I'm going to name some songs,
All right.
and which I can say I'm banging, but one's not quite banging, but at the end of them, you can say them.
Okay.
So we've got, Depeche Mode,
Mm.
Depeche Mode, or Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence.
Yeah, that's a song, a video that Depeche Mode do not like, apparently.
They're not.
Apparently not.
Zach Joyner's like Unhappy Days. It's like
possibly.
fun stuff. This is top level. Michael Bolton. How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?
That is one of the best rubbish Michael Bolton songs
It is.
ever.
Right. Tina Turner, Steamy Windows.
Oh.
That's good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff Richard,
Oh.
Stronger Than That. Well, I don't know anything about that, but obviously when we're going to do this game, we pick out the crap song. I'm not saying it's that one, but then Thunder, Dirty Love.
Dirty Love is a tune.
It is, isn't it?
It is a tune.
It's one hell of a tune. Then followed up by Aerosmith, Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Cliff is Cliff is the odd one out so far.
There's still one more to go, mind.
Oh, go on then.
B-52's Love Shack.
Oh, it's Cliff.
It's still Cliff, isn't it?
Cliff. Sorry,
But,
Cliff.
like-
I'm sorry, Cliff.
So, like, obviously, you wouldn't play Depeche Mode, but so you got Bolton.
It's a tune, though.
Yeah, you got Bolton, Turner, Thunder, Aerosmith, and B-52s. You'd play all of those, wouldn't you?
But I wouldn't play Cliff.
No.
Not that song, anyway.
No. What Cliff song would you play?
No, I was just thinking that when I said it. I was like, actually, I wouldn't play any. But, happy birthday to you. There you go. I'll play that if it's someone's birthday. It's a nice little...
Stevie Wonder.
No, there was a Cliff version of that song, I'm sure.
Oh, he did the one with the young ones as well, didn't he? With the TV show Young Ones.
Yeah, I think he did a cover of that. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I just made that up in my brain.
Maybe I want to go Google it and YouTube it now.
Yeah. So we also, some from last month. We still got Phil Collins. I Wish It Would Rain Down.
Yeah.
Still hanging in there. Lisa Stansfield, Live Together.
Don't remember that.
I'm not sure of that one myself, I must admit. Sybil, Walk On By.
Yeah.
Yell, Instant Replay.
Don't know that.
That's about all I've got here. Black Box. I don't know anyone else.
Don't know that. I know Ride On Time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting as we come into February. We'll have to see how things progress. So right at the end of the month, Sinead O'Connor has been put down to number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been put down to number 2 by Beats International.
Yeah.
We'll see how long Beats stay.
Yeah, I wonder how long they're going to last.
What kind of longevity will Beats have going into March? I guess we'll find out next time, huh?
Have you seen the albums?
No, tell me about the albums.
Right, last month Phil Collins was number 1 for he went across like quite a few months. So
Yeah, it's a good album.
basically he does. So he was number 1 for 6 weeks. So
Mhm.
he does January into February. Then I think at the end he gets knocked off by the Christians. I think we might have talked about them last month.
We did.
And then he gets back to number 1. So in a like sort of I think a 13-week period, he's number 1 for 12 weeks, or I think a 14-week period, number 1 for 13 weeks.
That's insane.
But seriously,
It's a good album, though.
yeah.
To be
good
fair.
album.
You
And
know.
there wasn't many really good new releases. I would say not good new releases. It's probably stuff I don't like. So it's not good.
So naturally, it's
Naturally.
crap.
I'm choosing what's good and what's not good.
Yeah.
Fish.
Hmm.
Was he Marillion? Is that a fish?
Yeah, I think so.
The Choir Boys. I remember the Choir Boys.
I vaguely remember the Choir Boys.
And it's the name Tinita Tikaram. I remember that name. I don't know what she sang.
Right.
The Mission. They had a new album out.
Nice.
Everything But the Girl.
Yeah.
Also had a new album out last week as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
didn't get the number 1 though.
No, funny that.
Delamitri, the Scottish band.
Not sure I know them.
I only know the one with the video when there's like they're pushing a pram and it's got like babies in it. It's got Delamitri's heads on the babies.
Oh, that rings a vague
Yeah.
bell. Yeah. Okay.
And for some reason, there's a load of Iron Maiden releases. I think they're EPs though, but they're doubled up. There's like Running Free and Sanctuary, and another one is Women in Uniform in Twilight Zone. I think they've done some EPs.
They were just delivering some EPs on the UK. Of course, the UK does love Iron Maiden.
I don't
You know. No, we know you don't.
I'm bored of it.
Well documented of your dislike of both Iron Maiden and Nightwish. Those are just the two bands that you're always.
And anything rockabilly.
Oh, any rockabilly. Okay. Well, there's not much chance of that any rockabilly turning up in the UK charts. I think we're pretty safe for most of the 90s.
How about the Emmerdale song?
Most of the 90s.
The Emmerdale rockabilly. Do you remember the Emmerdale song?
I don't.
I'm going to send it to you on YouTube after this.
Well, I guess we'll get to it at some point.
Billy Rock or something like that.
Does that hit the top 10? Oh,
Oh my god, number 1.
oh wow.
Shocking, isn't it?
In the 90s.
We'll have to Google it.
Because we might end up coming to it. You never know. It could happen.
One of my friends, like, anytime she requests anything, talk about a song, she'll say, "I'll play it." When we were over like lockdown, when we'd be doing like the streaming, like
Stream
like,
shows.
play the Hillbilly song from like Emmerdale. I was like, I can't bring myself to do that. I
Wow.
already did one night when I played 5 songs from Neighbours in a row. I was doing anything for money back then. Anything for money.
Anything for money. Damn.
Yeah, it was the Warpackers. Oh yeah, they're in the 90s. Hillbilly Rock.
Oh wow. Well, we'll get to that eventually.
That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
That's got to be early 90s. That's got to be early 90s.
It's got Zach Dingle in it, so I don't know. 96.
Oh my god, that is quite late. I that's like into girl power time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Thank God for girl power, getting rid of.
Thank God for girl power knocking Emmerdale off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was music for February of 1990. Not much going on in the world of toys and video games because Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas has just happened. All the toys are out, so they're pretty much the same as last month. A couple of games of note. Turbo Outrun is about. That's well, it was a solid arcade game, less solid. Yeah. Actually, I always thought Turbo Outrun was probably better on consoles than Outrun was on consoles. They kind of nailed that a bit better.
Do you have a Nitro on Turbo Outrun? Like, he's got Nitros on, eh?
I think so. Yeah, that was the gimmick, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ferrari F40 or something like that.
Yeah. X Out, it was a side-scrolling shooter underwater. Wizard Willy, which I don't remember, but it's just a little action game with platformer elements.
They used to use random names for games back in the day.
They did. Well, it's a cute kid or whatever called Willy, and he can shoot lightning bolts and whatnot. And Axel's Magic Hammer.
That sounds like a film I'd want to watch.
I've got no notes on what the game is, and I'm not going to elaborate on it because it's funny. It's just a funny name.
I reckon it's a platformer.
Yeah, it's a platformer. It's the early 90s. Everything's a platformer. After Mario happened, everything's a platformer pretty much. But yeah, so that's all we've got for video games.
It's a poor showing, isn't it?
Well, like I said, February.
Yeah.
But we've got some stuff coming up in the coming months.
Yeah, Mega Drive gets released later on in the year.
It does. Well, yeah, obviously Mega Drive gets released later on in the year. We've got Super Mario Brothers 3 coming at the end of the year. Obviously America's already had it. We know, but we get it. I think September-ish. Lots of games to look forward to, lots of events to look forward to. We've got WrestleMania coming up. We're on the road to, I think, probably the biggest WrestleMania of like my childhood,
that era,
of my generation. It was Warrior Hogan's big one. So that's early April, right?
Yeah, we got the World Cup coming up.
Yeah, we got the World Cup coming up.
That's when Gascoigne cried.
Another crushing defeat
of the Germans, our arch enemies.
Our football arch enemies. We get on all right.
Since we made up with Argentina earlier on in the year.
Yeah, we made up with Argentina already. As long as they don't beat us at football, then we'll hate them again.
I don't think
we'll just rip that treaty right up.
Yeah, in the bin. You can't have no land. You beat us at football again.
Yeah, it's all about football. So, is there anything else you would like to say about February of 1990?
I can't think of any famous people born.
There were a few famous people born. Julia Fox, the Italian-American actress and model from Uncut Gems, she was born. That's a fantastic film. Laura Beatrice Marling is born on the 1st of February 1990. She's a British folk singer, and she won a Brit Award for Best Female Solo Artist in the year 2011. You can tell I read that off because I have no idea who anyone is after 1990s. So, Zach King of TikTok and YouTube fame. He's like a filmmaker and illusionist. You've probably seen him do some magic tricks and stuff. He was born. Sean Kingston, American reggae rapper.
Oh, he's good, Sean Kingston.
Yeah, he was born in February.
He's got a one banger dance for fiddler.
You only need one banger. As long as you can make enough money.
Yeah.
Off that one. It's better to be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
Exactly.
Haruka Tatsu is an actress singer known, I think she's probably quite a big singer, but she's also known for her voice acting, Sword Art Online, and all of that kind of stuff. So those were the births of celebrities and people that I could find for February.
All right, I've got one more thing I forgot about, which I should have brought up earlier.
Go for it.
February 21st, the Batman theme by Danny Elfman, even, you know the one,
1989's Batman.
That Batman theme.
Yep.
Oh, and then every Batman themes.
The definitive Batman theme
wins a Grammy Award for the best instrumental composition.
I cannot argue with that. That is one of those themes. It's like the Superman theme, right? It is like definitive.
Yeah.
And you can do different versions of it, and it's like cool. I like what Hans Zimmer's done and all of that stuff. Fine, but when that
Batman
is the Batman.
Anytime
theme.
I hear that, I'll look up. I was like, "Where's Batman?"
I mean, it was that good. They did it for the whole of the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
That theme is kind of synonymous with Batman in the same way that the Superman music is same. So yeah, he absolutely deserved that.
So would we put? Because we like to rank theme tunes.
Yeah, I love to rank a theme tune.
Should we stick the Batman theme in with the cartoon themes? Or should we stick it? It's not a TV show, is it?
Well, the animated series, I think, debuts soon. It must be pretty soon.
Yeah, so yeah.
May already be out. Not
So
sure.
obviously we discussed Thundercats,
Mhm.
and there was one other cartoon. We had 2 cartoons.
Well, if we're sticking the Batman theme,
Yeah.
because it technically is also a cartoon theme.
X-Men. We had X-Men, didn't we? X-Men, Thundercats, and the Batman theme. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, Thundercats is 3.
Transformers.
Oh, that's
gotta be in there.
80s.
Oh, we're just going 90s. Okay,
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
as well. Okay, let's rank them right now. Let's think about this. Let's have a think.
I didn't realise this Turtles was 80s in America, the cartoon show. We had to wait ages for it.
Yeah, we have to wait ages for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like people listening to this show for the first time in America are just going to be like, what the fuck? That came out ages ago. It's like, no, it came out ages ago for you.
Yeah.
We still don't have like Mario 3 yet.
This
We've
is
got-
England.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah.
We'll get there though. Don't worry. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in our own time. We just like to take our time over here.
Yeah.
So I'm stalling as I rank this in my head.
Go
I've got this skill of talking
we've got
nonsense until
4
I get it.
cartoons then, yeah?
I'm gonna be controversial.
Yeah.
I'm putting Thundercats at number 1.
Well, best theme tune.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's got such a cool driving theme,
Yeah.
you know?
Go on then.
I'm gonna say Thundercats is my number 1 theme. I'm gonna say do you know what? I've just been praising Danny Elfman so much, but now I'm like, well, we're talking cartoons though. That X-Men theme,
Yeah.
you know?
Still now.
It will get me going. I'm gonna say Thundercats, X-Men. Then if we're doing Danny Elfman,
Yeah.
we'll put that in there. Then Turtles.
Alright.
We need a 5th, don't we?
We can come back to there's bound to be another TV cartoon.
Defenders of the Earth, is that a...
We'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that came
We'll
out.
make a chart and we'll update it each month, I reckon.
We'll make a chart. Let's have a chart of the best cartoon themes.
Yeah.
And everyone can shout at us for how bad. What are you ranking?
Oh, X-Men is number 1.
It was close for me, I must admit.
It's close between Thundercats and Turtles.
Yeah.
It's as far as say, Thundercats, Turtles, Batman, Elfman.
Fair.
Yeah. All quality though.
Oh, yeah. And if we're talking like movie themes, then Elfman's probably up
Yeah.
there as like almost number 1 in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, it's 80s, isn't it, I guess? But
Yeah. It'll appear again in Batman Returns.
it will appear again next year.
Yeah.
This year? Next year?
91, I think.
91. Yeah. Christmas film.
And there's gonna be some banging TV ones coming up. Terminator theme.
Yes, Terminator 2 will debut later this year. So that's something to look forward to as well. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's a good year.
Yeah.
It's a very good year for movies and music.
Yeah.
And video. It's for a good year for everything.
Just a slow month.
Slow month. Well, it's post-Christmas. It was always going to be a slow month in February, and then things will pick right back up
slow
in
month
March.
for games, actually. Everything else is fine.
Yeah, I think it's because everything's already released.
Yeah.
You know, they've blown their load on Christmas, and
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, kids have got no money,
Yeah.
parents have got no money. Let's wait until March. You know,
Yeah.
we'll be back. But in any case, we will be back next month. We will be doing March of 1990, and we'll see the road to WrestleMania well and truly heating up. I think we're going to get some serious Warrior ranting next month.
I think we're getting the Warrior promo with the plane.
I think we're getting the crash the plane Hulk Hogan.
Have you seen the one when there's we'll talk about it next one when they're opposite each other, like signing the contract,
And they're like, yeah.
it does the camera face on.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that next month.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. But yes, we will be back next month with March of 1990. Thank you for listening, everybody. And subscribe and all of that good stuff.
Yeah. Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. And we will catch you next time.
On the flip side.